Thanks, Mel. We get asked a lot just how fast are Formula One cars. So the ultimate way to tell people is show them one-on-one and let's see what happens against a V8 Supercar, one of the fastest cars in Australian motorsport and one of the fastest road cars you can buy going around. In this case, a Mercedes-Benz C63 AMG. Ange Bishop and Greg Murphy are alongside me to walk our way through this. And this has been a staple of the Grand Prix, guys, for a couple of years now. It's always exciting. And Murph, from a driver's perspective, there's no better way to show the massive performance differential from road car to V8 and then from V8 to Formula One car.
No, it's a really great way to do it. I always enjoy it, being involved in it previously, but, you know, watching how it all pans out. And, you know, the idea of this is obviously to try and get these cars to cross the start-finish line at the same time at the end of their lap. Mick Doohan there in the C63. Everyone knows who he is, don't they?
I think they might know that he's five-time MotoGP world champ.
Absolutely.
I was lucky enough to be in that car with Mick going around the track a couple of times earlier in the week. And I have to say, it felt good. It felt really good.
Sounds good, doesn't it? 500-odd horsepower out of the Big Merc. And we'll get some great pictures on board Mighty Mick. So, guys, this runs on a handicap system. So Mick Doohan goes first in the AMG C63 road car, the slowest car of the three. Slow is a relative term though, Murph. This will do 0 to 100 in about 4 seconds. Top speed in excess of 280 kilometres an hour. And knowing Mick Doohan like we do, you can guarantee he will use every single one of those horsepower in this.
Yeah, I mean, it's full of all sorts of tech, high-tech mods and safety things. I'm sure he's got all that switched off, and we'll be pedaling this thing as fast as we can. But it's a road car, so, you know, it's on road tyres, on road suspension. It's not a race car. Then we go to the V8 Supercar. Obviously, we know all about those. You know, it's a highly tuned machine, specifically built chassis, got all the race gear in it, but it's big, it's heavy. It's got 660 horse, but it's also 1,400-odd kilos, so quite different. But performance-wise, there's a big gap. Then we go to an F1 car, the ultimate of racing cars, absolute ultimate of racing cars. And this one is, you know, one with a V8 engine in it, one that makes a lot of noise, with David Coulthard behind the wheel. And that is light. It's got 800 and something odd horsepower. Its power to weight ratio is off the planet, and it's designed to go very, very fast.
Now, of course, Australia is the only place, the Australian Grand Prix is the only place this ultimate speed comparison takes place in Grand Prix around the world. And it is an absolute classic Australian thing to do, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I love the idea of just seeing how fast these various cars go. As we take a look at the V8 Supercar, and it looks like Stephen Richards behind the wheel, the Bathurst champion. He races Carrera Cup full-time. We'll see him across the course of the weekend in Carrera Cup with a couple of races coming your way on Saturday and Sunday. But he was probably the signing of the off-season, Murph, in an enduro driver role to slide in alongside Craig Lowndes in this year's season of endurance.
Oh,
he's a good guy to have.
Well, a bit of a shock. I mean, obviously with FPR, won Bathurst with Mark Webber
when you get him under.
You know, his third Bathurst win. Fortunately for me, I teamed up with Steve a long time ago and won Bathurst, and this was his third win that he had there. And next minute he's away from FPR and he's joining, you know,
Holden.
Yeah.
Again.
Yeah. He's been back and forth. He was the first guy to win Bathurst in a Holden
back-to-back.
Yeah,
Back-to-back.
Yeah, great history. So too this guy, and two-time winner of the Formula One Australian Grand Prix, and his last of his 13 Grand Prix victories came at this place in 2003. We're talking about the Scottish ace, David Coulthard.
And I was commenting earlier, it seems he's getting to spend just as much time in a Formula One car this weekend as if he was in the main race. He's been taking people out for a spin in the two-seater, those lucky enough to go for a spin in that, and then he gets to do this ultimate speed comparison, and he gets to do it in one of the old cars.
I thought we had good jobs, but
yeah,
he has got the best job.
he does.
And we should say, this is one of the most successful Formula One cars ever made in the history of the sport. The Red Bull RB7 was an unbelievable thing. It took Sebastian Vettel to a world championship. He won 11 races in the 2011 season. One win for Aussie Mark Webber at Brazil, that final dramatic race of the year that he finally broke through that season. But this is back to the old school Formula One days compared to what we've just seen.
Old school as in 2013,
correct, yeah.
Way back when.
Yeah.
2.4-litre V8, 18,000 RPM, about 750 brake horsepower. And DC just loves driving these things. So as we mentioned, this is a handicap situation, and they went out for practice and they had one speed comparo yesterday afternoon. It was won by David Coulthard, but the V8 Supercar and the Mercedes crossed the line, split by 1/10 of a second. The F1 car was about 1.5 up the road. So Coulthard will get a little bit more of a handicap for this one.
He's going to get nobbled for this one, isn't he?
Will, absolutely. Talk about parity. That's the ultimate parity.
Interestingly, at last year's ultimate speed comparison, Mick Doohan took it out in the road car,
and
in the Mercedes.
He was extremely happy about that.
I noticed.
Competitive racing drivers, like the one sitting in the commentary box with us.
Mr. Murphy, yes.
Yeah, anything you guys do, you've got to win.
Well, what's the point otherwise?
Exactly right.
What is the point?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why the stakes are high. It might look like a demonstration, but this is absolutely serious. So lap times already in the first one as Mick Doohan sets off. So Mick, we're looking somewhere around 2:25 for his lap from a standing start. The V8 Supercar yesterday afternoon, I should say, 2 minutes and 2.
Yep.
The standing start. The F1 car, 1:41. They catch him 22 seconds faster. Here's Mick. And you'll see our speed comparison chart at the bottom of your screen there. That will show a little graph and it will close up. The idea is that at the end, all of them are locked together.
Steve Richards blasts away from the start-finish line, chasing down Mick Doohan in through turn 1.
David Coulthard cooling his heels in the F1 as he waits for his signal.
It'll seem like an eternity. I mean, it's incredible to see. Here he goes now. The RB7 blasting away. But if we look where Mick Doohan is, he's already over the other side of the track.
50 seconds into his lap, but the idea is that when we get back to the start-finish straight in a minute and a half's time, David Coulthard will get to them.
Be right there.
Quite catch them. So Coulthard's away, Doohan out in front. There's Mick. And it looks pedestrian, but this is one of the fastest road cars you can buy on the Australian marketplace at the moment.
For a bit under $200,000, I think.
Small
Got
change.
some small change.
Why not?
It's a beautiful ride, though.
Of course, Mick, an AMG and Mercedes-Benz ambassador. Where's the V8 Supercar?
Just saw it coming down into turn 10. There he is there, exiting, coming through out of 10, 11, up to 12. Mick Doohan pedaling as hard as he can. He'd be hopefully not looking in the mirror. There it is, exiting turn 12.
And have a look at the bar for the Formula One car below, just closing in every corner and every straight they go. So Mick working down into this right hand, hard on the brakes.
He's got it easy. He's got pedal shift.
Not wrong.
He's all right.
Oh, is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Probably got the climate control tune just so.
David Coulthard now coming down into turn 13. Here they are. They're all starting to gaggle. We'll see him exit here. There he is.
So already one win to the Formula One car. What about the turn of the V8 Supercar or Mick Doohan in the AMG C63?
Oh, sideways.
Bringing it out. It'll be a drag race. I think
you watch the F1 car here, Richard.
It might still be good. Watch the straight line.
Oh, here we go.
David Coulthard will make it 2 from 2. And Richo will get
still
past
close. He's got his hazard lights on.
Bit of distraction.
Distraction.
I think DC's been fudging.
I think so. Can you imagine looking in your rear vision mirror and seeing a Formula One car coming up and you're not in one?
You can barely see it. It's so low. But credit to David Coulthard. That lap for David was a 141.2. He did a 141.7 yesterday. So he's nothing if not consistent. And here's another look as they run onto the straight. Well, Coulthard was never going to lose that. But not a great degree of difference, Murph, in straight line performance between the C63 and the V8 Supercar. Now, 100 horsepower difference between the two.
Oh, here we go. There's Mick.
How's the commitment?
Using a little bit extra in the AMG. Looking good, though. Steve Richards.
They're not going slowly, are they? These guys are trying hard and working hard.
He's just sweeping up the grass that Mick left behind. Here's a bit. DC nearly got a seagull.